So I did something I've never done before that I can recall. I I canceled my trip. I'm being responsible. I have a lot that I'm doing here at my house. I want to move and have been wanting to move for some years. And I'm always traveling, which is my real, passion. That's what brings me joy. And I like to go to new places. So I was supposed to be leaving in less than 24 hours to go to Nicaragua. The trip was only $84 with my points on Spirit Airlines. And Nicaragua is one of those countries that isn't as visited as some of the others. And so the research for it, I needed to dig deeper. I'm sure I could have gone there and just made it happen, but I decided to stay home, because even though I budget travel, and if I do a trip and it's, let's say like this trip with the $84 flight, I would have parked at the airport. So that would have been like 6 days times. It used to be $8, but it went up. I think it's 11. So that's not as good anymore. It used to be $8 a day. But that would be like $66. Okay, 80 plus 60, 130, 140. Travel, blah, blah, blah. A couple of hotel rooms or Airbnb. I would probably make it about 600 or 700, which is very affordable, especially for the beauty. Oh my God, like I'm trying not to think about the places I'm not going to see this week. I'm trying to focus on what I need to do here. And what I need to do here is I'm a businesswoman. I have a networking meeting that I'm going to this week that I think will be good. Like I said, I'm trying to close out my house, and there's just no way if I keep traveling every time I'm off work, every time I get a week off, I'm out, that I'll get it done. So this is me being responsible and putting a little more planning into the trip. I don't mind a non-planned trip. They can be great. I'm sure it would have been great. But Nicaragua is one that I felt like, don't go over here without digging in deep. Or at least not by yourself. That's another one. I love solo travel. I have no problem with it. I actually prefer it. But certain trips, I think it's just better to go with someone. And I went to Costa Rica. I was going alone. And then my son ended up joining me at the last minute. And I distinctly remember thinking, I'm so glad he's here. Because, one, I just would have traveled differently. I wouldn't have done as much of the adventurous things that we did. But I would have missed that. I would have been somewhere doing yoga and just sitting at the beach. And that's fine too. But we went to all these different locales and places and hung out and partied and all kinds of things. I'll never forget. I'm going to tell this story and then I'm going. I just thought about this in Costa Rica. So in Costa Rica, we stayed in an area that is kind of Jamaican, very Jamaican influenced. Because of Marcus Garvey. It's the first place that Marcus Garvey went when he left Jamaica. And I don't know exactly what was going on politically for him, but he had like a settlement in Costa Rica and he brought a lot of people with him. So this many years later, there's still like a little hub in Costa Rica that's very Jamaican-like. It's like going to Jamaica almost. but it's in Costa Rica. So it's just really cool. And so I don't know how we found out about this like nightclub, but we went to this club. Um, and it was like a dance hall type thing. And it was on the beach, and there was music, there was dance hall music, and there's drinks, of course, and maybe food. But it was just a really freeing, cool vibe. And my son had connected with some dudes his age, and so they were all like hanging out. And I was just kind of dancing and listening to music and going down in the water. And so I met this couple, okay? I didn't know they were a couple. It was two women. We were talking, and there was a black woman. She was from there. And there was but she lived in, I believe, Atlanta or New York. I totally forgot this till now. But anyway, and the European woman was from Spain. And so they talked to me and they were like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, you should have come last week. They told me about they have like an African Liberation Day or something. And I literally just met it. It's every year in like August 31st. And I got there maybe September 1st. And so she was showing me pictures and just like, wow, you missed it. You got to come back. I was like, oh my God, I think I went and got my son. Like, son, look at this. We missed this just yesterday. And it was just a good vibe. It was our first night. And it was just like, oh, okay, cool. Like a new friend. These friends that you meet, they're friends for the moment. And yes, you may exchange number. I have so many people's numbers in my phone. And when you leave them, you feel like, keep in touch. We're going to keep in touch. But you kind of never do. And if I was a person to go back to places that I've been to before, I would be more likely to keep in touch. But I always go somewhere new. Like, I've never been back to Costa Rica. And I would. I mean, I've gone some places repeatedly, and I would do it more. It's just that I feel like I'm kind of on a catch-up. Like, I'm doing all this traveling because for so many years while I was raising my children, I couldn't travel like this. I have 4 children now. And I'm making the video and putting it out there because I'm trying to inspire other women as well. I was a single mom or a divorced mom. So a lot of that was me by myself. Most of it was. And so again, it's doable to get out and see the world and get your children out. It's not impossible if you manage to do it on a budget. I was talking with a family member a couple weekends ago, and she's just like, I don't know how you do that. I could never do that. I'm totally scared. And I never can understand what all the fear is about. And so I don't really know how to address that part, the fear. I don't know how to help people with the fear part other than you travel in your own city by yourself. So yes, it's a different city, but it's the same movements, But when I said that to my family member, she was like, what? Like, that sounds crazy. But I guess it does. If it's a different language and streets you don't know. But I mean, I've got my maps. I don't know. But nevertheless, so I didn't, what was I saying? Oh, so friends. But yeah, I made these friends at this dance hall place. And I'm thinking, cool, like, she's really cool. She was American, but from there. I can't remember. Because I remember her very much being like, no, I live in Atlanta. Or New York. It was one or the other. But she's from there. So we're talking to them, and the Spanish girl is a lot like friendlier. And so the connection was more genuine, like, hey, girl. And the Costa Rican woman was too aggressive. She was kind of like, yeah, and we did this, and da 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 da. And now, I wish I could remember, because she also did something twice that I remember where she was like, we went together. Like, she was super territorial over the Spanish woman. And I'm chilling on a beach on my first night, and I'm not a lesbian. So I'm not picking up the vibes. I don't want your girlfriend. I'm just talking to her. Like, so I didn't really pick up that I thought they were just friends too. Like, I didn't get that they were lesbians. They had no public displays of affection. So I just thought I just met two new friends. So I remember two times when she was telling me about the little African festival day. It was beautiful. Like, I hate that I missed it. And she was like, yeah, we went together. Like, she did that like twice. And I'm like, okay, congratulations. Like, okay. I still didn't really get it. And then I was more, because the Spanish girl was talking to me, and she was very friendly. And so she and I had more of a like girlfriend type vibe. And the other lady was like an American. She's like being too aggressive. Like, yeah. And the thing is giving me information. So after I felt like this is a little weird, I'm not totally stupid. So I was like, oh, she likes her, or something's going on there. I don't know why I just totally assumed that they were hetero. But I was partying. It was late at night. So I just I don't care. Like, so she was acting weird. And I think that's when I was like, I don't know, I'm getting weird vibes from her. It was real friendly at first, but she's doing a little weirdness. So I went off to the beach. It's dark. And there's a coral reef down there. So the water's clear, and I'm just so excited, and this is so beautiful. This is such a happy first night. And I kind of wander in the water, and then I tripped and I cut the inside of my hand, like on the coral. Like, I went to catch myself and I cut my hand. And it was painful. Like, it wasn't horrible, but it's like I cut my hand. It's a little bit of blood. And so I got up, and, I'm like, oh, I'm still happy and free anyway. And I walk back up and I go sit back with my girls. And I'm like, oh my God, I cut my hand. I like told them. And the black girl, the Costa Rican girl, she took her finger and like rubbed it in my scar. I was like, okay, you hate me, kind of. Like, it was painful, and she took her finger and put her finger in the fresh cut. So yeah, those friends, they're like very fleeting when you meet these people. But I've met some really good people. I've had some people really help me out, or just change the whole nature of the trip just by their helpfulness. Oh my God. So all that to say, this was a long video just to say I cancel my trip. This is the first where I just canceled my trip and be here at home. But my daughter is here. I wasn't ready. I didn't like get my nails done, or I didn't feel like the rush. And sometimes I travel knowing like, forget your nails, forget your hair. You're just going. It's not about pictures, but I don't like to do that. So, yeah, I'm being responsible and taking care of business. And business is my jewelry, that I make and sell. I gotta take care of some things. The people out there don't have their lock rocks. So bye.